I've shared a lot of tips on how to keep your home clean and tidy, but today I'm going to be sharing habits that I think no one's really talking about. I feel like these are some really underrated habits that go a long way in keeping your home clean and tidy. So let's get started. The first one, a lot of people do the thing that I'm about to say, and actually it's a lot more people than you would think. I personally know several people who do this thing, and that thing is using single-use items like paper plates, plastic cutlery, plastic bottles for meals at home. Just stop if you are doing this. Just get yourself some dishes, some real dishes. Not only is using all of this throwaway stuff super wasteful, it's also really expensive. And it generates a ton of trash. And when you have a lot of trash in your home and you're constantly taking out the garbage and you've got trash everywhere, it's not really conducive to having a clean and tidy home. And a lot of you have asked me as comments on my videos how we as a family of 5 actually only have one garbage bag a week for our house. And it's very simple. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we don't use those kinds of things. Sure, if maybe we're going on a picnic or something, maybe we would use paper plates or whatnot. But for general everyday use, we do not do that. We stay away from single-use items. We have reusable water bottles. We have reusable coffee mugs. If we get coffee out, we bring them. So just try it if you're not doing it already. The next tip is going to cut down on laundry, and it is to reuse your bath towels for 3 showers or more. But hold on a minute, because there is a trick for you to be able to do this. For this to work, you need to dry your towel not in the bathroom. I have tried all kinds of ways. You have to dry it in a well-ventilated area, ideally not the bathroom. And not only that, you have to dry your towel so that it's not bunched up in any way. So hanging on a hook isn't gonna work. Because any scrunching or bunching, it's gonna cause that moldy mildew smell, and then you're not gonna be able to stretch your towels in between washings. I hang my towel in our hallway and it actually dries in a flash, and then I go and I put it back in the bathroom. Try it and you will be amazed at how much less laundry you're gonna have to do. My next habit is to always use your own reusable shopping bags when you go shopping. And I'm talking at all stores, grocery stores, retail stores. Actually, where I live in DC, they do charge you a bag fee. I think it's 5 cents. Sometimes it's 10 cents at other stores. But I have a bunch of reusable shopping bags, probably too many if you really think about it. But I bring them everywhere I go and I use them. And then this way, I'm cutting down on all of that waste of the paper bags and the plastic bags. I even stick my produce right in my own bags. So I grab my apples, put them in, my potatoes, my onions, whatever it is. I don't use those plastic bags that they have at the grocery store. That keeps this waste out of my house, and then it keeps my house cleaner. My kids really hate this next rule, but if you can do it and enforce it and stick to it, it's gonna keep your house so much cleaner, even though maybe you think it wouldn't have that much of an effect. The rule, this is the habit, we do not allow eating anywhere outside of the kitchen. So if you're going to be consuming food, it's only done in the kitchen. I cannot tell you how much this has improved our house. I know it's not easy. The kids want to watch TV and they want to have some food, or you want to watch a movie and you want a snack. But when you do this, even if you're super careful, because I try to be really careful, somehow there are still crumbs. You still get crumbs, and then on top of it, you get stains on your couch cushions. I don't know where these come from. They just appear. And then you're gonna have to clean your couch cushions. Ask me how I know this. I recently had to clean all of our couch cushions because they were stained with mystery items, and we hadn't been very good about enforcing this rule. We're back to enforcing it. I know that small things get on the couch, and before you know it, you're stuck washing your cushions. I mean, luckily mine are washable, but again, it's just more work, and it's not really keeping my home any tidier by letting people eat outside of the kitchen. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. It's free. This next one is a really easy fix. It's basically just adding a piece of decor to your home, and that is to have air purifying plants in your home. If you've watched my videos, you know I love talking about plants because I love plants. But there are a number of plants that are really good for your air. I'll give you a list of some. You can do some research. Pothos, for example, that's the one with the long leaves. It grows really fast. That is great for air purification. The snake plant is really good for this as well. I have that. And NASA had done a study many decades ago at this point, but they showed that the peace lily plant is actually one of the best at removing toxins from the air. And I think the toxins they looked at were benzene, formaldehyde, and carbon monoxide. So really great. And just think, plants with larger leaves are generally going to do this faster, but then the trailing plants like ferns or ivy, they're gonna have more surface area and kind of cover a lot more air. If you have pets though, be careful on the plants you get and do some research. I will say, I know that parlor palms are really good for air purification. I have one, and those are safe for pets. And spider plants too. While we're talking about plants, another underrated habit that I have is to dust my plant leaves. And before you think I've lost my mind, let me just tell you why. Plants end up attracting dust to them, which is great. You want to get that dust out of the air. You don't want to breathe it. But if it sits on the plants, then over time, it's going to get back into the air. So you may think it's a little extra to dust your plants, but the problem is when the dust settles on your plant, it actually gets in the way of photosynthesis. And then all the good air purification stuff isn't happening the way you want it to. So try to dust your plants. You could use a duster. I know some of you have commented that you actually take the plants in the shower, and then that way you can water them and dust them at the same time. I think that's genius. I love that idea. Whatever works for you, you do it, but dusting those plant leaves is going to go a long way in keeping your home tidy. This next one is for sure underrated, and it's something that I don't even think about myself unless I get something new, and this recently kind of occurred to me because I got a new vacuum cleaner. And this tip here is to have a vacuum that you love. The thing is, when you love your vacuum, then you're going to be apt to use it and you're going to want to use it. You know, something that's easy to access, something that's lightweight, something that's powerful. If you don't like your vacuum, it's just the worst. I have this Shark canister vacuum. It's so powerful and I love how clean it gets my house, but it's huge and it's bulky and it's a pain to get out, so I rarely use it. I end up using my stick vacuum way more, and I can link the one I use if you're in the market for one, but there's a lot on the market, and just find one that you love. Okay, so this next one. So obviously the more stuff you have, the harder it is to keep your home clean, right? Well, so my tip here is, and it's kind of twofold, and the first part of it is to buy as little as possible. If you can reduce the things that you're bringing into your home and what you're buying, it's just really gonna keep your home cleaner and neater. But the second part to this is something that I don't think a lot of people think about, and it's if you are buying things, I try to not buy things online as much as possible. And you know why? I don't want the packaging. I don't want all of the extra packaging that gets shipped. You know, a lot of times it has plastic in it, you can't recycle it, it builds up, it creates a mess. I know this second part isn't always possible. Sometimes you need something very specific and you want to go on Amazon. So what I like to do is there is a setting on Amazon where you can ship your items in fewer boxes. So say you have a couple of different orders, you can choose the one where they come in fewer boxes and they come together on the same day. And then there's also an option where you can choose for your items to be shipped in their original packaging, which is great. They come in their original packaging, so you want to make sure you're home when it arrives, but it's not extra boxes on top of boxes. This next one is also a two-parter, and it's about food, and these are kind of things that I swear by. But the first part to this is when you are cooking, I try to mostly make one-pot meals. Why is that? Not only is it easier, also fewer dishes to wash when you're done. And not to mention, one-pot meals, I think, are always crowd pleasers. Think of things like chilies, soups, stews, right? Everybody loves those. And then part two of that is I actually try to batch cook once a week, sometimes twice a week, but I like to do a couple of things at once. And again, it's the same idea. You're not messing up your kitchen every night, cooking each night. And I find it a lot easier to reheat food rather than have to cook it from scratch, especially, you know, when you're busy, you're coming home with kids and school and it's late. Also, some of you requested that I make a video on my go-to meals. I am working on that now, so I'm going to be releasing that soon. It is a lot of work to film yourself making meals. I'm going to do maybe a series. I'm going to do one video of 10 meals, and then if you guys like it, I'll do a second video with my other 10 meals that I consistently make. Be sure you're subscribed if you want to see that. Okay, and this last one I think is underrated because it goes against everything that we're kind of told or sold in life, and that is to have a smaller home. When you go from a small home to a larger home, the effort required to keep your new home clean is multiplied. More space simply means more to clean. I will never forget how much of a shock it was for us to go from our 2-bedroom condo to this house, which is 3 bedrooms, but it does have a basement and an attic. When we first moved in here, I just felt like I was cleaning all the time. I feel like I could never stay on top of it. Obviously, I've put systems into place and I've gotten on top of it, but it was definitely not easy. I think that the size thing is very real, and I would encourage you, if you are thinking of going into a bigger home, just think really hard about it if you want to take on all of that extra cleaning and all of that extra work. It's really an important factor when making decisions about where you want to live. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to link a playlist, so click on it and I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.